This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
The views expressed by guests on this program do not necessarily represent the views of the host or owners of the Doggy Diva show and do not necessarily constitute endorsement of products. Medical information discussed by guests on this program are those of the guests and is only for informational purposes and should not replace medical advice by your local veterinarian professional.
Hi, this is Susan Marie from the Doggy Diva show. This week, the dangers of a common natural sweetener, a new way to get rid of pet hair in your laundry, and clean teeth, good health for your pets. That's on our show this week. Let's get started.
Hey, did you hear that? What is that? It's the bark heard round the world. The Doggy Diva show. Here's national award-winning author and animal advocate, Susan Marie.
Hi, welcome to the Doggy Diva show, the show for animal lovers. I'm your host, Susan Marie, and as always, I'm joined by my canine co-hosts, the Doggy Divas themselves, Francesca, Coco, and our newest little diva, Miss Olive. Miss Olive is the cute little Italian Greyhound rescue in the picture with the microphone. Thank you for joining us today as we bring the experts in the pet and animal world right to you. Contact us at thedoggydiva.com. That's the DOGGYDIVA.com. We love hearing from you. So go grab a cup of coffee and your pet's favorite treat, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Take a bite out of your competition. Advertise your business with an ad in Pet Life Radio podcasts and radio shows. There is no other pet-related media that is as large and reaches more pet parents and pet lovers than Pet Life Radio. With over 7 million monthly listeners, Pet Life Radio podcasts are available on all major podcast platforms, and our live radio stream goes out to over 250 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, Odyssey, TuneIn, Stitcher, and other streaming apps. For more information on how you can advertise on the #1 pet podcast and radio network, visit PetLifeRadio.com/advertise today.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Doggy Diva show. I'm here with Monica Leighton, president of Professional Pet Sitting. And Monica, there's something out there that is something common to some of the things that we eat as humans, which can be very, very dangerous to our pets. Can you tell us a little bit about xylitol?
Absolutely. So over, the last 5-6 years, many people have been cutting back and being more cautious about the sugar intake. And that has led to an enormous increase in number of products that contain an ingredient called xylitol. Xylitol is a low-calorie sugar substitute with a low glycemic index. And it's found naturally in berries, plums, corn, oats, mushrooms, some lettuces, and actually trees. And the sweetener is used in a ton of stuff, everything from chocolate to candy, peanut butter, toothpaste, lower sugar baking products. There's even breads and a lot of new products out that containing xylitol. And the Pet Poison Helpline since 2015 has had a huge amount of intake between the calls that are for xylitol poisoning. Actually, 108%. It was the biggest 1 year increase they had, which was from 2019 to 2020. And even in 2018, 47% of all the calls that went into them were xylitol poisoning. So this is a large amount over the last 6 years as well. Back in the 2020 timeframe, that's when xylitol first came out. And in the last 5-6 years, a lot more products have emerged that contained it. So it's all over again. We are getting all these products that they're just popping up with a bunch of stuff in them that people don't realize are really bad for their pets.
Now, if a pet eats something that with xylitol, which is very, unfortunately, it could be very common because, I mean, if it's in chocolate, if it's in candy, toothpaste, peanut butter, and I know that peanut butter is something that people sometimes give their pets, or they hide little pills in them for their medicine. So are there like symptoms or anything to see if they have had it, ingested it?
Yeah. So xylitol consumption for pets and, particularly in dogs, can be extremely toxic and potentially deadly. The most common effect from xylitol poisoning is a precipitous drop in the blood sugar. That can lead to loss of consciousness, seizures, and in high doses, liver failure can begin just within a few hours and keep going onto a few days with that constant liver damage. Again, with the number of cases rise, a lot of things newer that have been coming out with the example of a lot of states, medical marijuana, edibles, or a lot of THC infused edible products are also being made in low sugar and with sweeteners such as xylitol. So we kind of have an emergence of those products as well. So like our THC infused mints, different baked goods, anything, that contains THC with low sugar product mix, that combo has been on extreme high rate of occurrence lately. And combo of the two is just, it becomes very serious. We had in our office a golden doodle, and not a mini golden doodle, like we're talking full size. So it was a good size weighted dog. And the owner had dropped a packet of Chiclets gum, and 3 of them dropped on the floor, and the dog consumed 3 of them. We're talking a 46-pound dog. And the owner fortunately knew that it contained xylitol. They knew it was an issue. They took them straight to the emergency clinic because it was on a weekend. And the dog unfortunately passed a week later, even with immediate treatment, because of the liver failure that it caused in the dog. Wow. I mean, it doesn't have to be a large amount. Some of the smallest you drop something and they grab it really fast. It doesn't take a large amount of xylitol to cause real effects in some pets. So having people realize the severity of it and just being aware of it and getting them help immediately is the best thing that they can do out there. It's not one of those products that it's like, oh, we only got one, let's wait and see how he does. That's something that if you know they got it, you want to be calling your veterinarian, talk to them, see what they want you to do. They're probably going to want you to bring them in and getting treatment done right away, because the effects and the damage that xylitol can do within their system is rapid. So waiting a day or two before it starts having serious symptoms could be the difference between partial liver damage and complete liver failure.
Wow. And it could be something so simple as a piece of gum. That's what's totally eye-opening, I guess. Wow.
Chiclets gum, I mean, you see that they're like little teeny.
Yes. Yeah.
Square. I mean, we're talking a small little thing, and it's extremely toxic to our furry friends. So.
Wow. Well, Monica, as always, you bring us great advice, and this is something that is very, I mean, it's in so much of human food that everyone really needs to look at the labels to see. And I'll tell a quick story. A friend of mine had guests to her house, and one of her guests had a purse who had the flap open, and in it she had some sugarless gum with xylitol. Unbeknownst to them, their little dog, it was a small dog, went in, got it, and got the gum and ate it through the package. And someone happened to see the package. The dog got very, very sick. They took it to emergency. Thank goodness it lived. And actually, they had heard on our show about the xylitol. You and I had talked about it a few years ago. And the dog almost passed away, but they got it there in time. So I think people need to know that there's a reaction time. Make sure that if you have guests to your house, you say, put your purses in a high area, or make sure you're zipped up. If you have anything in your pocket, make sure that it's closed, because it's something that can happen really fast and can have very fatal endings. So,
and there's a lot of products out there too right now that are coming out with xylitol in it that are not even like food products. We're talking like medications, nasal sprays, sleep aids, even some shampoos and deodorants
Oh
have
my
been found to have
goodness.
xylitol in it.
Wow.
Multivitamins, prescription sedatives, antacids. There were some stool softeners, even makeup remover, and like the gum that you use to stop smoking.
Wow. I had no idea. You know, I knew it was in toothpaste, but I had no idea. And in peanut butter and like in some of the candies and baked products and stuff, but I had no idea it was in that stuff. That's regular household personal care items.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that tip. It's hopefully people listening to it, this could be life-saving for our pets. So please be careful. Read the, you got to read it on more than the food. You got to read it on everything because xylitol. Monica, can you just spell it out so people would know? Because it kind of, it spells out a little different than it sounds.
Absolutely. It's xylitol.
So if you see that on any of your packages, make sure that you keep them out of your pet's reach. Be very aware where you place them. So, Monica, thank you very much. This is a wonderful, very valuable tip. So thank you, and you have a good week.
Thank you. You too.
We'll be back in just a minute. Hello, everyone. Susan Marie and Miss Olive here to tell you about the award-winning 3-book series, The Doggy Diva Diaries. It is a trilogy of heartwarming and inspirational stories about Miss Olive, a lonely little rescue pup, hoping to find her forever family and friends and a life filled with love. In this series, Miss Olive learns that it doesn't matter what you look like on the outside, it's the kindness and love you have on the inside that counts. Available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and other online booksellers. And please visit us at thedoggydiva.com for more information. Thank you, everyone. Coming up, don't be furious about your pet's excessive fur. You can do something about it.
Molly, here's your dinner. Zeus, that's not your food.
Don't let that happen to your precious cat. Elevate your cat's eating experience with the Cat Tree Tray. The Cat Tree Tray keeps your cat's food off the floor and conveniently located on the cat tree. It's the perfect way to eat. It's a beautiful wrought iron tray that easily attaches to your cat tree and keeps dogs and other critters out of your cat's dish. A must for multi-pet households. There's a 6-inch tray for large bowls and a 4-inch tray for smaller bowls. Purchase your Cat Tree Tray today. Go right now to cattreetray.com. That's cattreetray.com. cattreetray.com.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Doggy Diva Show. The FurZapper helps remove fur, hair, lint, dander, and other debris from your clothes, bedding, jackets, blankets, and anything where pet hair can gather. So for all of you pet parents out there, you know what I mean. We love our pets, but all of that fur, hair, dander, not so much. So I have 3 pups, and this sticky disc is very effective, and the bonus is it's reusable and safe. I call it almost magical. So with us today is the creator of the FurZapper, Michael Sweigart. Hey, Michael, welcome to the Doggy Diva Show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
No, it's our pleasure. And now, I love this. I personally use it, so I know that it's very effective. What was the inspiration and the story behind the FurZapper?
So for many years, I was a work-at-home dad. I worked remotely, and I was responsible for doing the laundry. With 2 dogs and a cat in the house and 5 people, we had hair and dander on pretty much all of our clothing. So what happened is I would wash the laundry in the morning, dry load in the afternoon, and I'd take the laundry out, and it would still be covered in pet hair. The laundry would be clean, the pet hair would be clean, but it'd still be filled all over the clothing, the blankets, the jackets, the shirts. Pretty much everything came out and had to be lint rolled or rewashed, or you'd have to pick the hair off. So I kind of got frustrated doing that. It added a lot of time onto the laundry. So I looked online for solutions. I looked in stores to try to find out if there's something that could remove, pet hair while I'm washing and drying the clothes. Couldn't find anything, so I tried a million, do-it-yourself remedies and recipes, some crazy ideas to try to solve this problem, and nothing really worked. One day, accidentally, I dropped a Halloween mask on the ground in my workshop, and it's a place where my dogs would frequent and hang out while I did some different hobbies. And I noticed that the pet hair clung all over to this silicone mask, and I thought, that's really interesting. I wonder how that would work, in the washer and the dryer. Would it help get the pet hair off the clothes? So strangely enough, I took a ripped piece of silicone zombie mask and ended up throwing that in the washer and dryer. And as it tumbled through, the tacky surface of the silicone, grabbed onto the pet hair. And as it was tumbling through the dryer, it was just, releasing the pet hair, and the lint trap was just filling up like I've never seen before. So once I saw that, started to work, I looked up the properties of silicone and tried to find the best, formula for what would work for, grabbing the most amount of pet hair, something that was safe, something that was economical, something reusable. And I basically experimented till I found the right, perfect silicone to be used in the washer and dryer to remove pet hair. And from then, it's all history from there.
Now I understand, because it was from a zombie mask, why I keep saying it's magical. But now, how does it work from the washer to the dryer? And and it has this really funky feel to it. So it's really interesting. I'm glad I know how it was created, because it makes a lot of sense to me now. But how does it work from beginning to end?
Yeah, so how it works is these silicone discs are really soft, they're really squishy, they almost feel like a stress relief toy where you squeeze it and it has a nice tactile feel to it. So the most important property of this is the tackiness. So it has a certain amount of tackiness to it. It's soft and it's pliant, but it's not sticky. So it's tacky enough to grab onto pet hair, but not hold it too long. Like, it won't grab onto your clothes. It typically doesn't stick to the washer or dryer, drums. So it's a great material that, can tumble through your clothes. It's small enough where it can, fit between, different articles of clothing in your washer and dryer. So, it just tumbles through and the tacky surface just grabs onto the pet hair and, really softly and gently dislodges it from the clothes. So once it's dislodged, then the natural, agitation of the washer and the tumbling in the dryer ends up releasing the pet hair again. So it's tacky enough to grab it, but it's not so tacky that it holds onto it forever. So these things don't really fill up with pet hair. You're not going to pull out a FurZapper just filled with hair. So the beauty of it is that it grabs it and releases it, sort of like a catch and release program. And then, in your washer, you'll see it, slowly start to come off. It kind of loosens it up in the washer. The dryer is the biggest benefit. You're going to get the most use in your dryer. We do like it going back in the washer because, first of all, it cleans it. So, once it hits the detergent in the washer and the fresh water, cleans off the FurZapper, gets it ready and prepared for doing the heavy lifting, within the dryer. So, we recommend, at least 2 in the washer. And then when that load is done, you just throw it into the dryer along with your laundry. And when those are done, make sure you empty your lint trap, because it's going to be probably fuller than you've ever seen it or close to it. Big wad of hair and lint and, even human hairs will be in there as well. And then just throw it back in the washer and start the cycle all over again.
And that's what I was going to ask. How is the best way to care for it? Because I just kind of rinse it off and put it back in.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. There's 2 ways to really get the most, out of these and keep them the cleanest. The simplest method is just throw it back in your washer. Throw them both in your washer, and the detergent will hit it and kind of clean the surface off if there's anything stuck to it, which there might be some, stray hairs there. Alternatively, you could just take them to your kitchen sink and like probably 1 or 2 drops of dish soap, like a Joy or Dawn, and just, rub them up a little bit, and you'll find that the tacky surface will be kind of reactivated, once it gets, cleaned off.
And how long do they last? Each one, how long does each one last? Because I know they have multiple uses.
Yeah, it's a good question. The great benefit of these is that you could reuse them over and over. We're not exactly sure what the upper limit is. We have customers that have used them for 2 years. I mean, they get smaller over time, so they become, little tinier after, probably 200, 300 uses or more. So you could use them over and over and over again. And depending on how much laundry you do, for some people that might be 6 months. For others, it might be, 2 years, depending on how much laundry.
Like I have 3 dogs, and I use it in my laundry, and I also use it when I wash their blankets in their beds. How many FurZappers should you use? Like if you have multiple, what's the recommended use for multiple dog household?
Yeah, good question. So as a rule of thumb, we say 1 FurZapper per medium-sized pet. So if you have like 2 pets in the house that are, regular size or medium size, we recommend, a 2-pack of FurZappers. If you have a lot of pets that are, super shedding, if you have huskies or big labs or something like that, the more the merrier in this case. So, if you have 3 pets in the house, you might be able to get away with a 2-pack, but we recommend, again, like 1 per pet is a good rule of thumb.
And that's what I do. Yeah. So, good. I'm doing it right. Can you share some troubleshooting tips with the listeners to ensure that the FurZapper is most effective to help remove pets' fur from our clothes and our laundry? Like if a top load as opposed to like a front load?
Yeah, absolutely. So we find that both, the top load washers and the front load washers both work, very well with FurZappers. They're both, very efficient. With a top loader, the one recommendation we have is put your laundry in, get your detergent in there, and drop the FurZappers on the top, and let them sort of work their way down as it's oscillating, the drum and scrubbing your clothes clean. As for front loaders, you just throw them in really anywhere within the washer. That works really well. There are some very important tips what to use as far as like fabric softener or dryer sheets. As FurZapper has a very soft tacky surface, anything that could leave like a residue or like an oil on it will reduce that tacky surface. So we recommend that you don't use fabric softener or use very little, and we recommend not to use dryer sheets as well, because they will put like an oily sheen on top of this, wonderful tacky surface that's trying to grab hair. However, if you use fabric softener dryer sheets, we just recommend that you take them out, take the FurZappers out when you're done with your washing and drying, and then bring them to the sink with a little, Dawn or Joy soap, and just give them a good cleaning to get that oily residue off, and then they'll be tacky again and ready to go back to work for you.
That's great. No, and it is. I mean, I've been using them for over 6 months now, and I swear by them. Where can the listeners go to learn more about FurZapper, where they can purchase it? Because it's an amazing, I call it magical. It's an amazing little thing. I mean, I sent it to my sister, to my friends, just so that they are aware of it. Because a lot of people are like going, oh my gosh, I have so much pet hair on. No, I found a trick. So could you tell the listeners where they could go to learn more about it and where they could purchase it?
Yeah, you could learn more on our website at FurZapper.com. We sell them there, directly to the public. And we have a lot of good, tips and tricks and troubleshooting, questions on there that we've answered as well. So it's a great, resource just to kind of see how it works and what it is. We're sold on the website. We're on Amazon. We're in Chewy. We're in all the Walmart stores across the U.S., and a couple other online merchants like Ace and BedBathAndBeyond.com, Target.com as well.
Well, before we go, Michael, is there anything that you'd like to share with our listeners more about the FurZapper?
Well, something we like to say is, shed happens. So we know it's going to happen. You know, you love your pets. You just don't exactly love, the hair they leave behind. And, this is a great solution. I came up with it myself to solve my own problems with pet hair on the clothes. And, we're happy to hear that, not happy to hear that everybody had that problem, but we're excited to be able to, help solve that problem. So, we're glad to be here and offer that service out there.
Well, it helped me. And I want to thank you for being our guest and for creating the amazing FurZapper. I personally love it, and I found it to be a game changer in my home. I have a multi-pet home, and a number of people that I know have multi-pet homes. So I know it's helped them too, because I've shared this. I've shared my little secret here. And we loved it so much, we chose it as one of Miss Olive's favorite things. So it was featured in Suncoast Pet Magazine because we're believers here. We're FurZapper believers. So
that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Oh, no, we really, really enjoy it. And anything that makes lives easier for pet parents, sign me up. I'm all in. So I want to thank you again. Thank you for everything you've done for us as pet parents. And I want to give out the website again. It's FurZapper.com. You can go to learn more about it, and there's a lot of places you could purchase it. And it's very reasonable, and it has a long lifespan. So for those of you out there that are looking to change the way that you do your laundry and change the way that you have fur hair and human hair, like all over the place, I think that I got the answer for you. So, Michael, thank you again. And thank you for being our guest. It's been our pleasure. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hi, this is Tim Link, animal communicator and pet expert and host of Animal Rights on Pet Life Radio. Have you ever wanted to know what your pet is really thinking? Do you want to find out if they truly understand what you're trying to tell them? Ever wish you could build a better understanding and closer relationship with your pet? Well, now you can. Learning to Communicate with Animals is a 4-part on-demand workshop. In the workshop, you'll learn the essential techniques that are necessary to communicate with animals, including what is animal communication, breathing correctly to achieve the perfect state to communicate with your animals at a deeper level, using guided meditation exercises and method to communicate with animals, and how to send and receive information from your animals. So if you're wanting to learn how to communicate and connect with your animals at a deeper level, visit PetLifeRadio.com/workshop and purchase and download Learning to Communicate with Animals. You'll be glad you did.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Doggy Diva Show. As a pet parent, I'm always trying to ensure that my pups are not only eating healthy, but living safe, healthy, and happy lives. Johnna Devereaux is a clinical pet nutritionist, the director of nutrition and wellness for Bow Wow Labs, and founder of the award-winning Fetch RI, a unique holistic pet shop and boutique in Richmond, Rhode Island. And we are welcoming Johnna back on the show today to share her helpful professional advice for healthy and happy dogs. Welcome back to the show, Johnna.
Thank you so much for having me back.
Well, it's our pleasure. You always have such great advice, valuable advice for us here. For the listeners that may not be familiar, can you tell us a little bit about Bow Wow Labs and what it is that you do there?
Of course. So as you mentioned, I'm a clinical pet nutritionist. So I am the director of nutrition and wellness at Bow Wow Labs. Bow Wow Labs is a small company onto big, big things. We created the Bully Buddy, which is a safety device for dogs that like to chew on bully sticks to prevent them from choking on that last inch of the bully stick. And really, we've just kind of expanded from there into some healthy treats. We just came out with a new dental line, which I know we're going to talk about. But everything that we do is to, just support the mission that is also yours, to keep dogs and puppies as happy, healthy, and safe as possible.
And believe me, as a pet parent, that is very valuable to me. So can you share like some helpful tips? Like, how do we keep our pets happy, healthy, and safe throughout the year?
Yeah, I'd love to. So, one of the things that most people talk about all the time is about food, right? And what goes in the dog's body. And, That is extremely important, but we're not going to get into that today. What I do want to mention is let's talk about the treats. Most people look at food, but they don't think about the treats and all the extras that they give their dogs or their puppies. So one of the things you want to think about is everything that goes into your dog's mouth matters. It all goes into their body, it processes. So when we're looking at treats, let's take a new stance on them. Let's make certain that they have, less than 8 ingredients, that they're free of artificial artificial additives and chemical preservatives. And if you can, ideally make them free of wheat, soy, and corn. Those are all things that our dogs' bodies don't need. Another great tip that I love is to add water to your dog's bowl. Now, a lot of people say, oh no, my dog drinks enough after they eat. And that's kind of not how their body is designed. Dogs are designed to eat prey, which are about 60 to 70% moisture. And so when we're feeding them a kibble, or for those who home cook or feed raw, there's still moisture that's been removed from the food. So we're asking their stomach juices to do more than just assimilate nutrients. We're asking it to also rehydrate kibble specifically. So what you do is help the digestion process by simply adding water right to the bowl. You rule of thumb is about 30% water to whatever the dry content is. If you're feeding home cooked or raw, you just adjust it slightly. You don't want to let the food get mushy. Just add the water right to the bowl and put the bowl on the ground. If your dog is a finicky sort, which some of them are, I always recommend introducing water at a low rate and slowly over time to get them accustomed to the water, because it is really beneficial to them. If dogs are not properly hydrated, we'll start seeing it in dry skin, because skin is the largest organ. So the body steals from the skin in order to help with the digestion process. So that's another great tip. I always say, please aim for a minimum of 20 minutes of exercise each day with your dog. It's not only good for your dog, but it's also good for you to get outside, get some oxygen and some clean air. And while you're out there, try walking your dog on a harness versus a collar. A lot of us don't think about the fact that collars put a lot of pressure and force constantly on the thyroid glands and the trachea, which can actually cause a variety of health problems. So going to a local pet store and asking them to help you get fit for either a front lead or a back lead harness is going to be extremely advantageous. For a lot of dogs, it helps them to stop pulling, which makes the walks even more enjoyable, but it actually does contribute to their overall health. Of course, being part of Bow Wow Labs, I'm going to say make sure you let your dog chew at least once or twice a week. Long-term chews help with mental stimulation, which helps with this serotonin and dopamine and this happy feeling that your dogs get. It helps to calm them. It also helps with their oral health. And oral health has a direct link to overall health, including inflammation in the body. What we want to try to do is remove bacteria in the mouth, because if that bacteria sits around too long, it does create issues throughout the body, which leads me to my last point, which is to clean your dog's teeth. A lot of experts are saying that you can actually extend your dog's life by 20% by cleaning their dog's teeth regularly. We recommend that you brush your dog's teeth daily, because the biofilm that collects on the teeth can actually form into tartar after being there for 48 hours. So a really great way to ensure your dog is going to have a clean mouth is just make it part of your daily routine. Brush your teeth and then brush your dog's.
Bow Wow Labs has a new oral care kit. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so our oral care kit is a game changer. We have a patented we call it a 4-in-1 toothbrush. And so it has 3 heads on one side and an opposing head on the opposite side. And what it does is it takes brushing your dog's teeth from, a minute to 2 minutes of hassle down to under 20 seconds. What the 3 heads do on the one side is actually encapsulate the tooth and go right down to the gum line. So with a quick 3 stroke, that side of the mouth is done. And like I mentioned, the opposing head helps to keep the jaw open, and it also cleans the other side of the tooth in hard to reach places. And we also have an enzymatic toothpaste gel, which I'm really excited about. I was a big part of helping to formulate it. And so it includes Manuka honey, it includes sage, it includes aloe vera. So it's all very gentle on the dog's mouth. There's some antimicrobial properties in there, antibacterial properties in some of the ingredients that we included. And it is formulated so it actually can be used for both dogs and cats. And our toothbrush comes in 2 sizes as well. So for small dogs and cats, and then one for larger dogs.
As we're talking about the dental, we're just coming out of Dental Awareness Month, but people who are pet parents need to keep this ongoing. It's not something you just do it once a year, get your dog a dental. It's so important because it affects all different parts of their body when you neglect their teeth. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, the bacteria that's in the mouth can cause chronic inflammation throughout the body. It's been directly linked to heart health, and it's been directly linked to other distant organs as well. The American Veterinary Medical Association actually indicates that 80% of dogs by the age of 3 have some type of periodontal disease, which is crazy to me, right?
Yeah.
When it's so easy to just eradicate that by just simply brushing the teeth every day. And, one of the things that I think is a block for a lot of pet parents is that they don't know where to begin, or they haven't really had their fingers in their dog's mouth, and they're concerned that their dog is going to reject it. And, my methodology for all of this is just go low and slow. There's no race, right? It doesn't mean that you have to start brushing today if you've never brushed your dog's teeth or if you've never had your fingers in their mouth. What you do is you start desensitizing them to the practice. So maybe you put some, organic, natural peanut butter on your finger and just let them lick that and start getting them accustomed to your finger in and near their mouth. And then you just slowly over time start to desensitize them to you being around their mouth. And that's when you start with the toothbrush, and then and sometimes you do the toothbrush before you do the toothpaste gel. Sometimes you do the toothbrush with a little bit of that organic peanut butter just to really get them excited about the process. And then you add in the gel. If you haven't been brushing your dog's teeth for the last 4 years, there's no rush to do it tomorrow. But I would encourage you to get the rush on to start getting your dog to allow you to be around his mouth or her mouth, so you can start to brush the teeth. I would also encourage you to have a conversation with your veterinarian. Go have your veterinarian look at their oral health, see how their teeth are. A lot of times dogs are cranky, or they just don't feel well. And what we don't realize is some of that discomfort comes from issues in their mouth, that they have, painful teeth that need to be removed, or they have the early stages of, gum disease. And so these are all things that you really want to be preventative about, making certain that it doesn't progress to a point where now their whole demeanor changes because they're in constant pain. So I encourage everyone to go to their veterinarian, have a conversation. You may need to have a veterinarian do a preliminary cleaning. And then once they do that, all you have to do is upkeep by brushing the teeth every day.
I'm kind of passionate about the dental situation. My little co-host on my show, Miss Olive, when I adopted her, she came out of an abuse situation, and her teeth had to be every single tooth had to be removed. She also had her leg removed for cancer, but they had to take out all her teeth. She had never had nothing. I mean, it was just her mouth looked like a Frisbee, and she's a little Italian Greyhound. It was so infected. So that's why I'm very passionate about going with the dental for the dogs, because it could literally save their lives.
Well, it can save their lives, and it directly impacts their happiness and what they are able to eat. I mean, you now have a severe limitation as to what your little girl can eat. So there are ways to make it still really healthy for her body, but it's a little bit more inhibitive, obviously.
But my other two are fine. And you know what else I wanted to bring up? When you were on before, we talked about the Bully Buddy, and I have to tell you, I got feedback from our listeners. They found it to be kind of like a game changer. Can you just tell us about the Bully Buddy? Because of the way that it operates, it helps. I find it to be almost like a safety device.
It is a safety device. So that's actually what some people try to call the Bully Buddy a toy, and we're very quick to say this is not a toy. Mm-mm. It is a safety device. And the sole purpose is to allow your dog to, get engaged in an instinctual need to chew. And so the Bully Stick is going to be a really great long-term chew for dogs. But a lot of dogs, they'll use their paws, but when they can no longer use their paws tactily to kind of navigate that last inch, they just put the whole thing in their mouth and then they swallow it, which can lead to obstruction. It can lead to a variety of other issues. So what the Bully Buddy does is it's like I'm going to say it's a loose bone shape, right? It kind of doesn't look like a bone, but it's similar in shape to a bone, I'll say. And the center hole is where you put the bully stick. And there's a screw technology that we've patented that screws down on the bully stick. And so the idea is that when it's used properly, you can't pull the bully stick out, which means your dog can't pull the bully stick out. So it allows them all of the benefits of long-term chewing without any of the hazards of that last 1 inch of the stick. So it is a game changer, and dogs love it. They take to it really easy. You see them putting their paws on it. They carry it around. Like, it's such a great device that has luckily saved thousands of dogs' lives from, not having that obstruction from the potential of that last inch being swallowed.
Oh, absolutely. Just the feedback I got and the people who said that they purchased it, and it is a total game changer it's almost like you have a sense of relief that you don't have to worry because everyone's watching. Okay, are they done? Are they done? Are they done? This sort of takes that stress off.
For people that have dogs that are resource guarders, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard if you don't have the bully buddy and they're getting down to that last 1 inch. A lot of people get frightened. I can't take that away from my dog because he resource guards. The bully buddy also kind of prevents that from happening because the dog can't get to that last 1 inch. They can try, but they will give up and walk away. And then that's when you can take it away if they resource guard, of course. The bully buddy comes in 6 sizes. So we have one for every size dog, from a 5-pound Chihuahua all the way up to a 150-pound Mastiff. So it's designed for the dog with them in mind, with their safety in mind, and also, thinking about the overall health that comes with long-term chewing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's great. And I have a resource guarder, so I know. I personally was very happy when I received mine. Could you, before we go, is there anything that you'd like to share with our listeners we may not have covered?
No, I mean, I think what's most important when it comes to your dog's overall health and happiness is that you just create an environment where they're happy and safe as well. So play with your dog, get out and enjoy them and love them. They are the largest source of unconditional love. And at the end of the day, we all just have to do the best we can for them with whatever that allows for your budget or your time, but just enjoy them and kiss them and, be thankful they're in your life.
That's probably the best tip of all. So, well, Johnna, thank you so much for coming back on our show and being our guest and sharing such helpful advice on keeping our dogs healthy, happy, and safe, because that's what it's all about.
If I could just encourage people to go to bowwowlabs.com, or you can follow us on Instagram or Facebook at bowwowlabs, and you can see what we're doing.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being our guest. Thank you for all of this great information, and also for sharing the new oral care kit. I think that's going to be very important for pet parents with their doggies' lives. So I'm all in.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. We'll be back in just a moment.
Pet Life Radio, the #1 pet radio network on the planet, joins forces with iHeartRadio to put the power of your pets in your pocket. Awesome. Download the iHeartRadio app and rock Pet Life Radio on your phone, on your tablet, on your Xbox, in your car. Pet talk, pet tunes, and fun pet times. Pet Life Radio and iHeartRadio. Positively Possum.
We would like to thank our guests this week. And also, as our Doggy Divas always say, please love your pets because they love you unconditionally. And please remember to adopt, foster, spay, neuter, and microchip. And as always, please have a great Diva week, everyone.
That's all for this episode of The Doggy Diva Show. To find out more, go to our website, thedoggydiva.com. Also, find us on our Facebook page, The Doggy Diva Show, and tell your fellow dog lovers about it. Don't miss Susan Marie, Miss Olive, and the Doggy Divas right here for the next episode. See you again soon. Don't miss Susan Marie, Miss Olive, and the Doggy Divas right here for the next episode. See you again soon.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.